Alright, what's up, y'all? Matt here again. Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass 1. That recently just ended last month with the release of Byleth. The whole hype surrounding that. One of the most exciting things to keep up with in gaming ever. And everyone got real sad because they thought it was going to be it, but fuck no. You know, Sakurai, that man doesn't sleep. Fighter Pass 1, we have 5. In this one, we have 6. But people are wondering, who the fuck is it going to be this time? Speculation of just one Smash character is crazy. And so everyone's just talking about what characters they want, who they want to see, who they think is most likely, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and kind of discuss the characters that I want and I also think are likely to be in Fighters Pass Volume 2. This is going to be my personal list. This is just how I feel and my personal opinion on this. You can think however you want. And since Sakurai has said that he has finalized the lineup for Volume 2, I'm going to be working around the time frame of around like 2018, 2019 to kind of make my guesses on who I think is most likely based on that kind of stuff. So, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Number 1, let's get this out of the way. Sora from Kingdom of Them Hearts. Yeah, duh. If you've watched this channel at all, you know that that's where my line lies. Hashtag Sora for Smash. I have a whole playlist of videos, me talking about it, so if you want to go see all that kind of stuff, go watch that. But basic summary, of course he can be in Smash. Duh. Why wouldn't he be able to be in there? People always like to say, oh, Disney won't want him in there because he's not supposed to do violent and they don't like that. Buddy, yeah, really think about what you're saying there, man. You're saying that Sora, a character in a Disney game in which he fights demons and monsters and even other human beings with that sword-like weapon, won't be allowed in Smash because that's too violent. Come on. It's stupid to think that Disney wouldn't want that in there. I don't know. Some people like to bring up that there's this game called Final Fantasy, where it was a Final Fantasy fighting game. It was originally supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts game, but they decided against it because I guess Disney stepped in and said, no, we don't want those characters fighting. But not true. Disney had nothing to do with that decision. Nomura decided to do it for the original Disney characters like Goofy and Mickey and stuff like that. They didn't want them in the fighting game. But the original Kingdom Hearts characters, they're fine. Sora, obviously that, so he's fine. Also, of course, HMK talked to that Disney executive, and yes, they do own the intellectual property of Sora, and a lot of decisions have to be made by them. They always go to Nomura because that's his baby, and they want to make sure that he's on board with stuff, and they'd be fine with it, okay? So stop saying that. But anyways, yeah, Sora would be a great character. I still really think so. Yes, I know people don't like sword fighters being continually added in Smash, but I do think he has enough outside of the Keyblade, obviously, to strengthen his moveset in other ways. There's a lot of things that Sora can do. Made use of like limit forms and gauges and stuff like that. I think they would have a pretty good moveset for him. The Kingdom Hearts series is still relevant. Kingdom Hearts 3, big game, came out last year. Still pretty relevant thing. They're continuing the Kingdom Hearts series. They're about to go deep into the lore, even deeper than they were before, so that's going to be some craziness, but still, it's relevant. And Kingdom Hearts has been on Nintendo platforms a ton in the past. Kingdom Hearts series has kind of been split between PlayStation and Nintendo in terms of game releases. He's one of the most requested characters to be in Smash. So if you look at the polls for most wanted characters, he's near, or if not at the top. Since that's the case, I think he, at the very least, has been heavily considered for inclusion in Smash at some point. I really want him. Kingdom Hearts fan. I think he'd have a really great moveset. Disney will allow it. Number 2, Master Chef Gordon Ramsay. I made a video about this too, if you want to go watch that as well. But to keep it basic here too, Microsoft and Nintendo, they've seemingly had a pretty great relationship over the past couple of years. When Sony was on their whole cross-platform stinginess thing, they had a whole ad together about Minecraft kind of poking fun at them, and that was a great collaboration between the two. They allowed Banjo Kazooie, which is from Rare, which is owned by Microsoft now. That ended up in Smash Bros. They've been open and discussing in the past, and yeah, I think he could totally be in there. I guess the big argument against it is that he is from a series that is too violent and too mature. He has a gun. It is a very mature thing. But I think they've toned down a lot of the violent parts of it in recent years. The latest game, Halo 5, was rated T for teen, so there's that. Other people have guns in the game. Snake has a rocket launcher.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
I know we already have a Microsoft rep. He is very much associated with Xbox, so I guess it seemed weird for them to put one of their most popular IPs in another platform followers game, but that hasn't stopped them in the past, and the great relationship that they have, I think it could easily be possible. Maybe if they're wanting to port the Master Chief Collection over to Nintendo Switch, since they're doing a lot of stuff with that now, I think that would be a really great thing for them to do. Again, watch that video if you want to get some more on that. Number 3, Doomslayer. So I think it's kind of a similar story with Microsoft in this, in which Bethesda and Nintendo seemingly have a pretty good relationship when it comes to this Nintendo Switch era. Most of Bethesda's major releases over the past 10 years, I guess besides Fallout, has been ported onto Nintendo Switch, like Doom 2016, Skyrim, the Wolfenstein games, all of that stuff been ported onto Nintendo Switch. Doom Eternal, the game that's coming out in a few days, that's going to be coming out later this year for Nintendo Switch. So it shows their support for the platform and their willingness to work with Nintendo. And I think Doomslayer, kind of the thing people go to first. He's the most popular Bethesda character, I guess, right now. It's the most classic one, the Doomslayer, so I think that's why a lot of people think he's likely. And you know, Doom is the big thing that Bethesda is pushing right now, so it would make sense that they put Doomslayer in there. There's been some rumors, you know, going around and leaks saying that he was supposed to be in there. Like, there's this leaked video of the costumes with Doom monsters on it, but who knows if that was fake or not. And I remember reading somewhere that apparently Bethesda did have a meeting with Nintendo recently, like last year or something like that. And also similar to Master Chief, I think people would think it wouldn't happen because he is too violent, and yeah, especially Doom is very, very violent. That's what it's known for. And I guess I can't agree to a certain extent on that. That may be an issue for some people, since this still kind of does cause controversy with a lot of people, and putting that in a family-friendly game, I guess that would be a little bit awkward. I get that, I guess. And who knows, maybe they could also put Dragonborn in there. I think that could be another likely character too. Skyrim, most popular Bethesda game of all time, and they're still pushing that thing into every single platform imaginable, so that could be a easy solution to that if they really wanted to do that. Another sword fighter though. Haha. So if Doomslayer is too violent and too crazy for that, then maybe they could go with Dragonborn. I'm gonna include two in this one: Crash and or Spyro. Either one. This would be a really cool inclusion to me, honestly, because Spyro and Crash, they were the big PlayStation mascots back in the original PlayStation days in the late 90s and stuff like that. They were the Marios of PlayStation. That's how they were pushed. They even had the commercial with that guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit pull up to Nintendo HQ and start talking shit.
Plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare has arrived. Pack up your stuff. I got a little surprise for you here.
But of course, they're not owned by Sony. They never were. They are owned by Activision. They recently just released the Insane Trilogy and the Reignited Trilogy for both those series. And those both recently came to Nintendo Switch as well. And you know, it wouldn't be a big deal nowadays because it's been a long time since the days of the original PlayStation. They don't really represent that brand anymore. But to me, honestly, I think it would just be a really, really cool thing to see that kind of thing from back in the day. They were polar opposites, Nintendo and PlayStation, and those characters represented the enemy of Nintendo. And, you know, just to kind of see them come on there in a way, I think would be just a really nice thing to kind of tie everything together. I guess technically we have Snake as a PlayStation franchise, but to see those classic mascots get on there, I think it would just be a really neat thing. And I think they're in active development of new Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon titles as we speak. So if this gets revealed around the time that those are coming out, that'd be a really cool tie-in to have that come all together. Because I'm sure those games would come to Nintendo Switch as well. Those were great mascots back in the day. They're perfect for Smash Bros. Oh, but we can get better than that now. Jak and Daxter. Okay, now we're talking. This is, I think, gonna be the most out there of them all because it is a game from Naughty Dog, which is owned by Sony, so Sony owns the property. So this does, I think, make it much less likely since they don't have as good of a relationship with them as they do with Microsoft. So this is probably not that likely, but I still think there might be a chance because Banjo-Kazooie, like I keep on mentioning, is owned by Microsoft. Yes, they were known to be on Nintendo platforms before, and that gave it a huge advantage, yes. But you still got to work out the legal stuff with them being owned by Microsoft and, you know, all that stuff, and they were willing to work with them on that. So if they can get a rival console manufacturer's owned property into Smash, dude, Jak and Daxter, all they have to do is just hit them up saying, hey, we want to do it, and they get on board with it, and then we'd get it. It wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world, yes, but it still could happen in a perfect world, I guess. That is a massive roadblock in there. Game hasn't been made in that for a way long time, so it's the IP's kind of dead a little bit. PlayStation All-Stars also exists. Who knows if that thing is ever going to get a sequel. There's always rumors like every year that it's in development, but it never comes to fruition. So PS5 is coming out this year. Maybe we'll see that. And I say Jak and Daxter exclusively because I don't think Ratchet and Clank would be included. The recent news of the Sony acquisition of Insomniac, it wouldn't be a good look to Sony's investors to put that on another platform right when they bought out the IP. So they're just going to avoid that. But I still think Jak and Daxter are available. So if something can start happening with that, hey, they could easily get in there. I'd love to see it just to see how the PlayStation fanboys react, because the recent news of Horizon Zero Dawn and Death Stranding coming on PC, it has them on the rails. They are not in a good place right now. Dante. Oh, I got a clown for this one. Back before Byleth with Fighter 5, I made a video talking about a tweet that they made seemingly confirming Dante for Smash, and I ran with that a lot, but that didn't happen now, did it? But hey, I still think he's pretty likely for Smash. He's up there with Sora as one of the most requested characters to get into Smash. Again, he's someone that's probably been heavily considered at some point. Due to fan requests, we had Devil May Cry 3 remastered on Nintendo Switch, so that's something, and I guess if they wanted to support Devil May Cry 5 on there, they absolutely could. I think it would be good to coincide with the release of Dante in Smash. That'd be really cool. Capcom is another big supporter of Nintendo Switch. They've been porting a lot of old games and a bunch of new games onto the platform as well. So that whole video, it got really popular and it got people's hopes up, but then I just crushed their dreams. I don't know much about Devil May Cry. I don't know. I've never played it. I bought Devil May Cry 5 in preparation for him to be Fighter 5, but that didn't ultimately happen, and it's sitting on my PS4 ultimately doing nothing. So I'll get around to that at some point, but hey, it's a heavily requested character, easily likely, so put him in Volume 2. I think that'd be pretty nice. And finally, Tubi. Hentai and anime porn lovers rejoice. I mean, look at that ass, my man. Oh, isn't this relevant too? Also, something happened on Twitter with this over the last week, and it was kind of funny. So there's this tweet that Nintendo sent out a long time ago talking about like sending people reminders of when Animal Crossing New Horizons was going to come out. When you liked the tweet, you would get a personalized unlisted tweet just for you, and, you know, saying, hey, you're confirmed to be reminded. Someone with the handle 2B for Smash abused the hell out of that and caused a little stir. Yeah, that was fun. But, it could happen. It could happen. That's another Square Enix rep right there. So, of course, me personally, if I wanted another Square Enix rep in Smash, I would choose Sora over 2B any day. But I know a lot of people really loved Nier Automata. I want to get some Android app. I think it's been a heavily requested thing, and that whole meme thing kind of went down. So I think it shows that people really want it and get excited at the possibility of it. It is not currently on Nintendo Switch right now, or any plans for it to, at least that I can say. That does hurt a lot. And, you know, Nier, not really as popular for franchise, but hey, it's a meme. People got excited over it. It could happen. I could see it happening. I didn't buy Nier Automata, but I did play the demo of it, and I did have a lot of fun with that. And I think her moveset in that game could be a lot of fun if they took advantage of that in that little, I guess, gun shooting thing that she got on her shoulder right there. Very interesting game. And a very interesting character. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me down in the comments below, what are your most wanted characters for Fighters Pass Volume 2? Why do you want them? Do you agree with my list at all? Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video. Whatever that's gonna be. I don't know. All right, so yeah. Bye-bye.